Today we're going to discuss about the PERM labor certification. Crystal is with us. She's our business partner. Crystal, explain to me that if I am giving you the case, for example, filing a labor certification, of course, PERM labor certification, what is the fastest time that you have filed a PERM labor when an employee has given all the information to you?
Well, we actually filed the same day.
Same day?
Yes.
Well, what the heck then? All the people are telling it's going to take almost 1 year to file a PERM labor certification. Why is that they take 1 year and you take 1 day?
Well, typically it's going to take more than 1 year to get through the entire PERM labor certification process. So a lot of people don't realize that there are multiple steps to the PERM labor certification process. So first, the employer has to obtain a prevailing wage determination from the Department of Labor. Right now, they're taking 6+ months to issue those prevailing wage determinations, and we can't file a labor certification without the prevailing wage determination. Once that prevailing wage determination is issued, then the employer has to actually conduct recruitment for the position. So they actually have to advertise for the job that the employer is going to sponsor the foreign worker for. That process is going to take a minimum of 60 days, and we typically see that taking longer because the employer has to make sure all of the advertisements are posted correctly, and they may actually be conducting interviews of U.S. workers. Once recruitment is complete, then the employer can finally file the PERM application with the Department of Labor if qualified and available U.S. workers were not found as a result of the recruitment process. And then once filed, finally, it's going to take 7+ months right now to obtain a PERM approval.
So, Crystal, in the case where you said you filed on the same day, though, that means that the employer has already done the prevailing wage and has already done the recruitment efforts.
Correct.
In that case, you could file on the same day if everything is already done for the particular company and for the particular position, and this individual fits into that particular position.
Right.
But if you have to start from the scratch, that means that if I'm coming to you where employer has done no activity, you're telling that first you have to get the prevailing wage, which is taking 8 months, is that what you said?
6+.
6+ months. And then we have to do the recruitment efforts, which you said take 60 days though.
Right.
But when we applied for the prevailing wage, while the prevailing wage is not coming yet, can we not do recruitment and save that extra 2 months? Because a lot of these people are going out of status because their 6 years certificate is expiring. So can we save that extra 2 months, and as soon as we get the prevailing wage, can we file the PERM labor certification?
Yes, you can. And there's actually no premium processing allowed for the PERM labor certification process. So this is actually one way to speed up that process, is to start recruitment, and hopefully it is complete by the time that prevailing wage determination is in.
And so once you file, how much time it's taking for the PERM to get approved nowadays, Crystal?
Yeah, right now it's taking 7+ months.
Crystal is our business partner. She's been in Reddy Neumann PC from past 12 years, from 2010 to right now. Crystal, there are a couple of things that I have questions about, though. What is unique about, why should they hire you, though? Why not somebody else? What's your specialty? You've been associated with Reddy Neumann PC for long. Well, what is your why should somebody hire you as a PERM lawyer instead of somebody else?
Well, I've been dedicating my career to PERM, so ever since I've worked with Reddy Neumann, that's what I do all day, every day. And we actually have a dedicated team to PERM labor certification just because it's such a unique process. So we have, for example, 4 immigration attorneys who work exclusively on PERM labor certification. And altogether, I would say we have 15 legal assistants who assist on the process, probably more than that. We also have a dedicated portion of our database that's exclusively to PERM, just because there are a lot of dates and different things involved with the process. So we have that portion of our database as well.
You're telling that you have 4 lawyers plus 15 legal assistants. Do they do H-1Bs? They do I-140s, adjustment of status, and all those things? Or they only do PERM labor certifications?
Right, so they only do PERM labor certifications on a daily basis.
Oh, so they don't do much other activities unless ancillary to some things, but they don't do though.
Right. Yeah. So of course they know how to file an H-1B, they know how to file an I-140, they know that entire process, but their day-to-day responsibilities are going to be exclusively PERM.
This is exclusively for Reddy Neumann PC guys. Not many law firms have a dedicated team only for labor certification though. I mean, you won't find. They'll be doing H-1Bs, I-140s, B2 extensions, premium processings of the I-140s, 485 applications. They do L1s, E1s, O1s, P1s, Q1s, R1s, T1s, and all other things. I mean, you know how many non-immigrant visas are there? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W. So those many non-immigrant visas are there. Plus, in the green card itself, there is called EB1A, EB1, EB1B, EB1C, and national interest waiver. There are a lot of other things. So, but in our Reddy Neumann PC, we have an exclusive team because there are so many deadlines. If you miss this, you're going to miss that. You're going to miss this. You're going to miss that. It's so tough. I mean, I don't do labor certifications, guys, because our head is there, Crystal is there. She's been heading the department, I don't know, from past decade, I guess so. For more than a decade, she's heading the team. So she takes care of it. Her department is exclusive only on PERM labor certification. Can you explain quickly how the PERM process works out? And everybody knows what a H-1B is. You get an LCA, you file a H-1B, you can do premium processing, you get an approval. Everybody knows that. Then when it comes to the I-140, once you PERM approved, you file an I-140, you can do premium processing. But labor certification is quite a different deal, though. Why does it take like so long to get the prevailing wage? What is this recruitment efforts, though?
So for the recruitment process, and like I mentioned before, a lot of people don't realize the multiple steps involved. But the entire reason for PERM is for the employer to test the U.S. labor market to ensure that U.S. workers are not being displaced by hiring a foreign worker into a permanent position. So in order to ensure this, the employer is required to conduct recruitment. So the employer actually has to post an advertisement for the sponsored position in different recruitment mediums. So for example, they have to post a job order with the state workforce agency, and that's going to be the state depending on where the job is located. That has to be placed for 30 days minimum. And then there's going to be a 30-day quiet period after that. So that's where we get that minimum 60-day period. But the employer also has to place an advertisement for 2 Sundays in a newspaper of general circulation within the area of intended employment. They have to post a notice of filing, which basically puts other employees at the company's location on notice that the employer is sponsoring a foreign worker for this position. And then they also have to post the advertisement in 3 additional recruitment mediums. So the Department of Labor actually provides the employer with a list of 10 to choose from, and they only have to choose 3. But as you can see, there's multiple areas where the employer has to post these advertisements, and there's very strict rules around this.
So how do you coordinate with the employer all these activities? Do you do it, or do they need to do it? How does it work out?
Right, so the advertisements are actually placed on behalf of the employer by our team, and we monitor all of those postings. So we don't, and that was another thing I was going to say. We don't outsource those recruitment postings. There are some law firms who use third-party companies who work exclusively to monitor those postings and post everything on behalf of the company, but we do everything in-house. Now, of course, we can't actually conduct the actual recruitment, so we can't receive the resumes, we can't interview applicants, we can't do that for the employer, but we can post those advertisements and monitor them on their behalf.
So let's say you post the advertisement, but the resumes will go to the employer.
Correct.
And you also provide any assistance that is required for the employer, but actually you'd never interview the clients.
Right, yes.
Okay. And with regards to the prevailing wage, though, let's say, for example, a company has posted a prevailing wage and it's taking 6+ months to get the prevailing wage. How long is the prevailing wage? Can we use the same prevailing wage that's been put for somebody else for me also? Or do you need prevailing wage for each individual?
Right, so you can use one prevailing wage for multiple individuals if the employer has multiple openings for that position.
So if a prevailing wage has been done for somebody else, I can if I fit into that particular program, then I can still use the same prevailing wage done by the previous employer. I didn't. Not a lot of people know about that. A lot of law firms keep on posting prevailing wage for each particular individual while you're telling that it can be valid. How long is the prevailing wage valid?
It can be valid for up to a year,
Okay.
and no less than 90 days.
So that's a minimum of it is valid. Mm-hmm. In that period of time, you have to start the recruitment process.
Correct.
And do the recruitment and then file them.
Right.
So what especially a lot of companies are losing employees because they're unable to file the labor certification faster. So do you have any program for the companies where they consistently have the prevailing wages and have the recruitment so that they can file the PERM labor anytime they want to? Within a of course, you said one day, I take it a discount and maybe it will take 1 week for you to file. But do you normally have some kind of companies that have advertisements and also prevailing wage at all times valid?
Yeah, so those employers who have multiple openings for a lot of the same positions that are, they're backed up by the contracts that they have, prevailing wages always issued and valid, and then they also have advertisements that are consistently running because they do have that business and they do have those bona fide job opportunities.
One thing is that if you are coming near to the 6th year of the H-1B, though, we do have a separate video that I'll put a link to underneath it where you need to watch that video because you have some options of H-4, EAD, you have options going outside the country and staying in Mexico for a certain period of time. I'll put a link for those things though. Anything else, Crystal, that you want to discuss about the PERM labor certification?
I know, just with how long everything's taking right now, we do suggest that you start as early as possible. 2 years even now before your H-1B max out time.
So you mean to say I should start at 4th year or 5th year?
You should start as early as possible, but no later than the 2-year mark at this point.
And then if your company wants us to, if the company wants to hire the queen of the PERM labor, that's what we call her in our office, queen of the PERM labor, Crystal is there so that she can monitor all the deadlines and everything. A lot of times team misses one thing, then they have to do the entire thing again, guys. That's very important. She's an architect in our database also to make sure that all the dates are automatically calculated so that we don't have to manually calculate it. We made our database, she made our database actually to suit, and we have a separate division within our Liberty portal, which is we call our database as that tracks that when is the advertisement expiring, when is the prevailing wage expiring. All those things are tracked within our Liberty portal, which she architected because to her needs, what she needs, and she's been associated with from more than a decade from our office. So anything else?
I know, that's it. Covered it all.
Thank you very much for tuning in.
Thank you.